They're an app company with a mission to end the desktop dining epidemic. They say there are too many people skipping lunch entirely without taking breaks, and from that, Lunchpool was born. CEO, Chief Eating Officer Alexander and his beautiful daughter join us today, and there's actually a reason, though. She helps out the company, we need to point out, right?
Oh, yeah. She's actually she's the Chief Eating Officer. I'm the Chief Lunch Break Enforcer. But she keeps us on track for our mission, which is to make a future where people go to lunch together, people are interacting with one another, and we've been labeled as the burnout generation. So we're trying to put an end to that as well. But the way that it's built is over lunch, one lunch break at a time, and we're building a future for Avi and her generation.
So let's share with everybody, this is a program to get people to invite others for lunch, which I know around here at the office, there's several times when our boss has to come upstairs and ask if we want to do lunch, and sometimes it doesn't happen because you just, you don't interact with people.
Exactly.
Talk about how you had this idea and how it was executed, because we've even kind of talked about this a little bit on our show before.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so it was a number of months ago, back in November. I've spent probably the better part of 10 years in corporate America. I got invited to attend Startup Weekend, which Tampa Bay Startup Weekend, a phenomenal event for entrepreneurs. And we formed this really motley crew team. People didn't know each other. We had about 5 of us. And I pitched the idea. I said, hey, are you tired of eating alone at your desk and realizing that there's got to be a better way? Everybody was into it. We won first place. It kind of blew my mind, the whole experience. But since then, we've just been working on it nonstop. Actually, I left my job 2 weeks ago to pursue this full time.
Well, congratulations in pursuing this. Startup Week is something that we've talked about here on the show, so we're glad to meet the winner, which is pretty fabulous.
Thank you.
So now this is still being molded, and you are looking for companies to help you make this something that other companies can get their hands on in lunch, right?
Exactly. So the thing that we want to make sure that we emphasize is there's been 2 research articles that came out in the last 3 weeks. A couple of companies are studying why aren't people going to lunch. So millennials have this internal stigma that if I go to lunch, I'm going to be less productive. And the research shows the exact opposite, but it's internally, it's in our heads, and it's kind of spread from just millennials to the whole workforce. So we think that we've got to grind out. We have this kind of hustler culture, and we're trying to put an end to that. We're trying to show people, hey, you need that break in your day. You need to go step outside of the office, get to know the people around you, because your work is going to be so much better as a result of that.
And you were saying when this app is executed, it's something you can keep public, you can keep your invites private. Explain how that's going to work and what people can expect and how they can help be able to make this app a real deal.
Yeah, so if you work at one of Tampa's, we're starting in Tampa Bay basically, because we've been such a part of this community here. It's been amazing, the growth that we've been able to achieve from being in Tampa Bay. Our first beta client, KnowBe4, they just valued it at $1 billion 2 days ago or a week ago. And it's like, there's so much going on in this area. So we want this to be the home of Lunchpool. We want Tampa Bay to be the most lunchable city in the nation. And then by the end of next year, we're going everywhere. So 2020 is going to be the year that we just branch out. But the way that it works is you're in an office, you look into the app, you say, hey, I want to go to lunch with Debbie, or I want to go to lunch with someone that likes Game of Thrones and wants to talk about it today. So, yeah. And if you make that public, then other people can go through the feed and say, oh, well, I'm interested either in this restaurant or this interest group or these people. And you can find the people that you want to connect with for that day.
So again, we need to point out, app is still being worked on, but that's where you are looking for people, though, to help out. And again, we're sharing the information right now. And in fact, if you want some swag, which by the way, has the logo for a carpool on it, which I absolutely love, go to the website on your screen.
Thanks.
Alex, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.